What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Phase 6, your source for music, business, motivation, and support. It's your boy, Sirr Love. I'm excited to talk to you guys again. We're staying with our topic that we've been going through lately, which is just talking about high-level understandings of contracts, what type of contracts exist, so that you can understand what either the goal is or what the goal is not going forward when you're trying to navigate through success and trying to create value for yourself. So today, we're going to be talking about record deals. Now, I've done a lot of videos about record deals, positives, negatives, pros, cons, 360, standard, whatever. So this is going to be review for a lot of you guys that watch my content. But for people that look this up specifically to understand more about record deals, I'm going to break it down to you guys. So let's jump into it. It's your boy, Sirr Love. Let's go. Alright, so I just got finished breaking down a publishing deal, and I feel like it's only fair that I give record labels their opportunity to shine too. So I talked about a publishing deal, and basically what I said in a publishing deal is that a publishing deal is a situation in which you're trading your intellectual property, i.e. your copyrights, your royalties, and different things of that nature. You're trading that for exposure or some type of partnership or some type of situation that's going to add value to you in reference to a company that is probably a publisher or a publishing entity that is going to do B2B business with your records, with your intellectual property to create value for you and for themselves. They're either going to give you an advance or a fee or upfront check or something of that nature and for your services, and then you either have a split or you're giving up 100% of ownership in the intellectual property going forward. That's publishing companies. Well, the thing about record deals is that they are very similar. The difference between a record deal and a publishing deal is a publishing deal is B2B. A record deal is typically B2C. They're doing a deal with you because they like the appeal that you have in the consumer market, right? They're going to be doing this deal with you, and they're going to be saying, hey, we're going to give you an advance, or we're going to give you a fee, or we're going to give you a fee and an advance in exchange for your services. Your services is whatever you do. If you're a singer/writer, then you write and sing on records. If you're a rapper-writer, you write and rap on records, and you perform on stages, and you have a brand, and people care about you and what you do and what you represent and all these different aspects, right? All these things are the things that you are selling to an individual. So with the record deal, what you're basically doing is, like I said, you're trading your service for, a fee and a percentage in the value that they're going to add to you. The value that the record label adds is that they're going to front money to market and gain and create exposure for you, use their relationships and their networks to expand your exposure in the market to create the highest potential of success. Now, with all of this exposure, it doesn't mean you're going to be successful, but they're going to give you a chance to be successful by the amount of exposure they're going to get to you, granted your deal, your parameters, what you set up, and different things of that nature. In exchange, they're going to ask for a few things. This is going to depend on the type of record deal that you have. Now, if you have a standard record deal, traditional record deal, it's kind of hard to say what standard and traditional is because there's been so many types and every record deal was customized for different people. But when I say standard, and when people think about standard, they're thinking about, the time period before 360s in which you had a deal with the company, and that company was taking a percentage of sales from the albums, and, maybe they had some percentage in the publishing and royalties and different things of that nature. In exchange, they were out there pumping you, promoting you, paying for tour support, paying for all sorts of different things to help you get established as an artist so that both parties can eat, so that they can make their money off you, you make their money, and you make your money off of the investment that they put into you by pulling money out of the fans' pockets by way of sales, streams, merchandise, whatever it is you're selling directly to the consumer. The way that this would work is that the label would front money, and then you would have to pay back everything that they fronted, and then at which point you've paid back everything they fronted, there's been some type of split that would be set up in the agreement, and you may get maybe a 70-30 split, you're getting 30 or 60-40 or whatever you put together. Now, the genius thing that was done by individuals that were very entrepreneurial and had a lot of business savvies, they started doing joint ventures. A joint venture is what's known as a JV deal. A JV deal was a 50-50 deal with the record label. What that typically means is the record label recognizes that you are a valid business. When you came to them, you had all of your ish put together. You were already selling records in the street. You're already selling records, in whatever vehicle you were selling records. Nowadays that's going to be streaming. You're getting hella streams, and you have a business model for doing so. Not only can you break one artist, but you can break a series of artists consecutively, and you're able to create value from a label perspective. Not only are you able to create value, but you can handle the business, the paperwork, and all the different things. You're starting to look like a mini major yourself. At this point, the label says, we're not just signing you and investing in you as an artist. We want to invest in the whole company itself, because we see this company as a partner that we can make money with long term. JV, 50-50 partnership. The way that these deals are set up is that when the record label comes in, the record label is going to first pay back everything that you've spent, or half of everything that you've spent to get to this point. So they can say, hey, we put in on this. A lot of times they pay 100%. They recoup you for everything that you did, just as a sign of good faith to say, look, we want to be in business with you. Whatever it cost you to get here, we will cover that cost for you. And going forward, we want a 50-50 deal out the gate. We're going to cover your old costs, and we're going to front your future. In these situations, record label fronts you a lot of money. Then at which point you go out there, you produce records, you do your thing, you're your own label. They just give you money, and when you ask them for support and assistance, they give it to you in whatever way, because it's advantageous for them to help you, because they're getting 50% of whatever you guys make. So they'll make certain phone calls and pull certain people in because you're doing all the groundwork. In a 50-50 situation, you've proven your value. Since they know that you can handle the business, you're going to get offered a JV deal, which is a 50-50 deal with the record label. Once you sell records, all the money that they spent fronting your records, they're going to, of course, calculate that, take that money off the top. So they'll take their investment money, put it back in their pocket, and then split the remainder 50-50 with you down the middle. It's a beautiful deal. It's the type of things that, a lot of people have in this game, and a lot of people have shot for a long time. So that is a 50-50 deal. What's common today is the 360 deal. We've talked about this a lot. The way the 360 deal works is that a record label has a standard deal, but they also have an ancillary deal, or a passive income system built in there as well, where they're also going to get an additional percentage off of anything that you do, like a manager. So we talked a lot about managers and how managers eat and what managers do. Basically, imagine a second management fee. They'll get an additional percentage on everything you do, from shows to merchandise to endorsements to product deals to whatever it is that you put together. Now, the reason that labels are rolling these out is because albums aren't selling like they used to sell. Streams have not quite closed the gap, even though they're going to close the gap and supersede the gap very soon. However, to make up for the money that's not happening, record labels are saying, hey, we'll give you more of the sales if you cut us in some on the other side. That's starting to drive more revenue, because ticket sales are going like this, record sales are going like this, and they said, look, we'll give you some of this if you give us some of that. And when I just doing that makes no freaking sense. And it made a lot of, old school artists particularly angry. But for a lot of the newer artists, it was still an opportunity, and they were getting bigger cuts. Even though record sales were going down, they were still getting bigger cuts than what had been seen in the past, and being able to make a lot of money off of it. Now, the whole concept of having a record label involved with the 360 is that the label is saying, if there's no benefit for us, why should we sign you? So at the end of the day, do you have to sign a 360 deal as a new artist? No, but if you need the money, if you need the support, if you need the foundation, then it has to be something in it for them. For example, I think Lil Yachty is amazing. Lil Yachty is really, really amazing. He came out, a young kid, captured the public, did his thing. If people go back and forth on how they feel about him lyrically, musically, old school, new school, all that other type of crap, I don't care. The boy's hot, the boy makes things happen, the boy creates a lot of value. However, his early album didn't move the same way that a Kendrick Lamar or any other artist at that level that's getting endorsement deals with Target and getting endorsement deals with, was it Sprite? I think Sprite. Whoever else he was getting these deals with, he's getting these large endorsement deals, but his albums aren't making the same type of noise as other people that are getting the same type of deals. His shows aren't getting booked at the same rate. Well, how does a record label make sense of this? You're getting all this other money, we help make you famous, but we're not seeing any revenue. So their idea was, look, if these types of artists are going to exist, if nowadays artists are going to make money off of their brand versus their music, if we're going to promote them as a brand brand-centric artists, we need to have a cut in on the brand. I think Lil Yachty is an amazing example of a person that has a dope brand, right? And so as a record label, is he in a 360? I don't know his business, but he's signed to QC, and QC signed, and who knows how the situation is set up, but I'm pretty sure the kid's being taken care of. But that's 360 and how that works and the logic behind it. We've talked about it a lot. I don't want to beat a dead horse. So moving on. Single deals. Single deals are very popular for record deals. Single deals happen when you have one song that's really hot, but the song is stronger than your brand, the song is stronger than you, the song is stronger than everything. It happens when a person has a song that gets 500,000 views, but they only have 20,000 views on Instagram. Yeah, single deals happen. A single deal is a scenario in which the record label says, we want to bet on this single. We don't want to bet on you. We don't want to commit ourselves to you, but we want to commit ourselves to the song. So we're going to give you a deal only based off this song. So the amount of money that we're going to give you, instead of giving you $500,000, we're going to give you $50,000 and just focus on this one song. We're going to take some intellectual property and ownership over this record. We're going to help you promote this record. We're going to make this record as big as it can possibly be. Now, in the process of the record becoming big, what we also want is first right of refusal, which means if the record blows up and then you become a star, we also would like to have the first shot at signing you, or we have to have the option to say no before you go somewhere else to someone else. Right? That's the whole concept of a single deal. Is basically saying you're not all the way there yet, but your song is. Maybe you'll get there, but let's just test the waters there a little bit more before we jump down something as serious, some 4-album deal or something of that nature. Now, is that fair for the artist? Absolutely. You have someone that's investing in a record and you pretty much get to get away scot-free if it goes south. However, a lot of artists have bigger dreams. They see themselves as a bigger person, so it really just kind of depends. All right? But that's how a single deal is structured. It's all about the record and getting the record out there. Jeremiah, to my knowledge, when he did Birthday Sex, had a single deal, but he turned that into a whole career. So it kind of depends on who you are, your situation, your work ethic, your talent, and what you're able to do, your team, etc., etc. Last deal that I'll talk about, I don't even think I'll talk about it. We'll talk about it on the next one because it's a lot more dynamic and this video is already long. So in the next section, we'll talk about distribution deals because that's still considered somewhat of a record deal, even though it's not a traditional record deal. But let's talk about distribution deals so you guys can know what that is, because a lot of people still throw the term out there, distribution, I want a distribution deal. And so we'll talk about what that used to be and what that is today and why people want those types of deals. And hopefully this will help you guys out. Now, I'm doing all this video just to really add value to you guys. A lot of people are out here, striving for deals or striving for, success in situations that they don't understand. So I'm giving you real high level understandings of all the different types of things that you may come in contact with. And hopefully this helps, because a lot of times it's not the last deal that screws you, it's the earlier deal that screws you. But the last deal could also screw you. So understanding what all these deals mean and what they stand for and the purpose behind them and why you're signing them and why people are thinking this way is important. That's why I'm doing this, to try to add a little bit more knowledge in the community. Now, I don't know everything, but I do know a lot about a little and a little bit about a lot. And every time I get in front of this camera, I give you guys everything that I got. I mean, it's late. I just left the show. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning or something like that. I've been running around all day. We did a show, booked an event. It was crazy. They did their thing. Now I'm here recording a show for you guys because I want you guys to win and be successful. So let's get to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, subscribe, share. Go to the website, www.phasevi.com. Go to Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. Reach out, DM. Go to the website. Reach out. I really respond to the stuff that's on the website. There's a whole text number at the bottom of the page on the website. You can shoot me a text. We can holler. We can talk. There's a whole bunch of information on the website to help people win, to help people grow, and that's all we're trying to do with Phase 6. So I don't know everything, but I know a lot about a little bit about a lot, and I'm trying to give you guys everything that I got. It's Phase 6. Like, subscribe. I'm out.
Real talk, no chase. Real talk, no chase.